Right, welcome back, lords and ladies, and here we are for an episode of Pillars of Eternity with me, Cornish-Knight. We've gone and talked to the annoying person we need to talk to. Let's try and get this mission done. I really don't want it left hanging about. I've got enough missions to do as it is. If I want company, I would go to the Solid Mast, Mayweather's golden tooth catches to candlelight. What is it this time? Someone at the low lighthouse on Odra's Gift was looking for your ship. I didn't peg you for a liar, at least not from what I've heard, declares the pirate. She looks you over, narrowing her eyes, but that doesn't mean I believe you. She leans in a voice low hiss. You'd better explain what gives you such an interesting notion. The last lighthouse keeper watched for your ship every day. It's all in the log. No, her snarl flashes a go-to. She turned me out. We were poorer than the fishermen who lived there now. And when she learned I'd put food on the table with stolen gold, she told me that if she never saw me again, it would be a mercy of the gods. Her dark eyes were filled with rage. I had nowhere else to go, and it was a rough life until I rose to captain. She ignored the Adrian's advice to stay, but as he'd avoid the Adrian advice to stay behind, I think she was waiting for you. Her eyes turned away. She was always so stubborn. I forgot sometimes where I got it. She gulps down the rest of the wine. I'll go. Perhaps it'll give us both some peace. Right. Let's hopefully it hasn't given me anything beneficial. Nope. Return to the lighthouse. Rightio. So off we go to the lighthouse, folks. I mean, I would fight the Banshee, but it's like, as she currently stands, I just can't beat her, and I would rather, to be honest, just get the mission out of the way. I mean, I've got enough side missions as is. I'll do without having one just like hanging around because I just can't beat in question. So let's pick up the pace. I wish once you had explored an area you could quick travel without having to run to the corner of the map. I know that's why they've put the whole like speeding mechanic in, but it doesn't really do it for me. Right, so if you lose health, yeah, it's the same stuff we say every time. Basically, if your health runs out, you basically get knocked out, you get knocked unconscious. Yeah, let's get to the lighthouse. There we go. Yeah, this is why it's... I see now why it's built on buildings, because it got flooded, didn't it? So if you look... It's built on some of the sunken buildings from like the old village that was here that they allowed to flood. Not a particularly safe tactic, if we're being honest.
Yeah. Hail, traveler.
You never guess what happened. Neil points to the lighthouse. I was keeping an eye out for you, and who strode down the dock but Mayweather herself? You should have seen the stairs she's got. But she walks right into the lighthouse, never a word to anyone, and just when I saw she's met some awful fate in there, she strolls right out, still saying nothing to nobody. Now I'll hear all sorts of rumours about Mayweather and the last Now I'm hearing all sorts of rumours about Mayweather and the last lighthouse keeper. She shakes her head. I don't know what to believe, but everyone else around here is convinced that the place is safe again. I've got the construction crew ready to start. You gained 1,000 copper. You lost items. Vixen notice. You lost the item logbook. She takes a deep breath, a big, content smile on her face, and now I've got you to thank. Here. This is for you. Come back when the renovations are done. I've got big plans for this place.
Just say the word.
The Wailing Banshee. I mean, you don't have to fight everything in this game. I would have liked to have fought the Banshee, but man, it's just too nasty. Too nasty. Right, everybody's a commoner. Got a lunch now and then, right? Got to have 2 lunch now and then.
Just say the word.
So what's in here? Those lost in the flood.
Yeah.
Sailor, sailor, commoner. There are a few honest types left in Defiance Bay.
Just say the word.
Yeah, I know that for a fact. How do you like what I've done with the place? See dust, hands on her clothes. The rooms are still in construction, but I can get you food and drink if you'd like. Let's see what you got. Yeah, so she's just got the normal stuff. Dragon egg dish.
Just say the word. Just say the
Got
word.
a commoner in the kitchen. To be honest, like, I found like food helps a lot, but I don't go made to buy meals just when you could buy the ingredients, because you get enough ingredients as is.
You must gather your party before venturing forth.
Yeah, come on. That wolf, sorry, the fox. Because, of course, like when you fox the size of a Labrador. We have our work cut out for us fixing this lighthouse. I suppose we should go and check the top to make sure that nothing was left behind.
Leave it to me.
Right. Yeah, it's gone. So that's the bounty taken care of, which is good. With the bounty taken care of, we can start doing some of the other jobs and get us clear up. I also probably start on the main story quest. And try and figure out if I want to help. Right, if we pick up the pace, we can get to the flooded part of the town and check low tide. Because I want to see if to find the missing parts that we need. Right. Yeah, it's low town. Low tide. We can get down into the water. White leaf.
Just say the word.
Oh, didn't realise there was. That's an unwanted surprise. Ouch. Right, so I didn't expect it to be undead here. You hit that one, you hit him. Right, and we can cast a spell off with him. Right, everyone target him. Come on. You'd think they would have kept their town a bit better if weapon shields, binded copper, shattered animated armor.
Yeah.
You must just cling to the bricks and planks, their cells sharp enough to cut flesh.
Not a problem.
What's this? A weapon, scepter staff. Clandestine cargo. Find the missing parts. I found a piece of the broken relic. It looks like other piece is still missing. Scepter base. Yeah, here we go. Ouch. This is just lovely. As always, I dive straight in. Let's see what can we do to clear up some of these guys. Come on. Right. Man, these guys are nasty. Pop your healing ability. Right.
Just say the word.
Killed them and took their stuff at least. Right, we got
Just
all the
say the
stuff. Got to check out the rest of the area first. I do love this map. I love this game a lot. It's a really good game. I mean, some of the things, yeah, they could do better. Like some of the quick traveling just to save time. But besides that, it's a good map. Like, I'm not going to complain about it. I mean, like, there are very few games that I think are as well deserving of the hard work they put in as these. Something there we missed, okay. Right. Let's get up the stairs. Mud squats underfoot, yep. So the boy's body's been returned, that's good. And we shall continue forward with our adventures. Get this done out of the way, and then I'll probably... which faction, like, do I want to go and work with the Animancers? Animancers, no. I mean, the Golden Knights seem like... I'd probably just go with the dozen, even if though they're a bunch of morons. No, not all of them, but a good percentage of them appear to be. Mead. Right, here we go.
Just say the word.
Yes?
Just say the word.
Hail and well met.
Immatel robs a callous thumb over the ruins in the opal. Is this about a broken? Is this about the broken scepter? Yes, I have all the pieces. He bristling eyebrows raised to a peak. You mean you got past those armored monsters? I didn't know how. He shakes his head. Listen, if you're willing, I'll give you this last piece. He holds up the opal, and the name of someone who will pay, who will buy it all up. All I want is 200 pads for getting the cargo here. Sounds fair? Give me 200 Give 200 copper. We've got a deal. You want 200 pads for locking the rest of the crew in the hold and sinking the ship? Might give me the opal and the name, and all you wish the suit of armor had finished you. Yeah, let's go with that one. He shoved the opal, still warms your hands, and takes it. Take it. His mouth withers into a solemn frown, and look for Nans at the Blackenberry Sanctum. Now leave me alone. I mean, yeah, dude, you like drowned the guy. I did all the work. Why do I have to pay you? Right. So we got the relic. Did we not? Find scepter. No, that's not it. Is it a quest item? Yeah, there it is. So let's see what this relic is all about. Stirlwart sends a plea for assistance. They've been attacked by ogres, and they fear they will be sacked any day. Well, it's nice, except I do not know where Stirlwart is. Right. I'm trying to figure out which faction to do. I'll probably do the dozen. I don't know. I mean, the Crucible Knights don't seem too bad, but they seem very knightly. Right, in we go. So who do we have to talk to about this? Take 4 pieces of the scepter to Inumetel's Animant's contact, but I'll have to find that person on my own now.
Just say the word.
Vanel. Let's talk to him.
How do you do?
Are you the Animant who's been buying relics from Imetel? Actually, wait, no, farewell. I better be careful about who I talk to.
Just say the word.
Noble. Is it Omadur? That's a soul fragment.
Just say the word.
Who could it be, I wonder? Nans?
Good day to you.
An elder woman peruses the cells with a quickness and energy that belies her age. I'm afraid I do not practice any more, child. Too busy with my research. Are you the Animancer who has been buying relics? Oh, so what do you do here? I am an Animancer. Used to venture on all kinds of underfunded and ill-fated trips out the Exposition Hall when I was your age. But lately, I found my research better suited to my current pace. Are you the Animancer who's been buying relics from Imetel? That chatty old fistwife been blabbering about me. I see. She laughs and rolls her eyes. Never trust your secrets to a man with so much salt in his beard. Anyway, let's see what you've got. Nan examined scepter, her eyes hooded by wrinkled flesh. Mattel told you the truth. I'll buy this. Unfortunately, a broken scepter isn't as valuable as he may have led you to believe. She steals a glance at your face, but her fingers tighten around the piece in her hands. I take it off you for 500. Law 4 nonsense. It could easily be repaired with someone with proper skills. Her eyes flash under the sagging lids. You've got the skills all right, and you know more than your average relic hunter, I see. Making it whole again is a matter of alchemy, expensive alchemy. I've got to soak the broken ends in fiend's blood compound to reconnect them. Never mind the embalming work to restore the enchantments. She eyes you. I could do it in the tune for 1,800 pads. 1,800 to put the set back together for Zol 13. I'm giving you a rare opportunity to work with an Egwathan scepter. Surely you can bring the price down. Aye, perhaps, if you want to bargain, haggle with every dragon blood vendor and imp-horned merchant in the city. She puffs her sagging cheeks. Very well. You can have the satisfaction of working the work satisfaction of working an old woman to an early grave for only 1,500. $1,500 it is. I expect you to want to watch and see what your money's put to good use. Better get comfortable then. After what feels like an hour's, he returns to the main hall with you and presents the scepter. Looking at it, you never know it had been broken in the first place. This may be the finest work I've ever done, if I may say so, and thank you for giving me the opportunity. Examining the pieces like that is a dream come true for someone in my field. Her gaze is wistful. Take good care of it. Okay, so this is the contract we sent her out. A few miles north of Kindlevale sits a tiny village called White Rents, so small it's often missed on the maps and tax records. The village had little contact with the rest of the Deerwood, despite its tiny size. The village has a long history dating back to the use of Glenfaffin tribal camp there 3 centuries ago. One of the most prominent features of the community is a deep well, atop of which is made from Iwafan Adra. Though not of any religious significance to the Glenfaffins, all who see it agree that the well is truly ancient. In recent years, locals have reported strange sounds from within the well. Some describe it as an animal sound, others are as odd speaking in foreign tongues. Noah's Dead ventured down into the well, but the villagers are becoming nervous about drawing water from it. Though the community has modest resources at their disposal, they have reached out to the nearby lords for assistance. Venturing into the depths of the White Reach well, Rose discovered that while the foundations of the well were made of a living Edra, the source of the sounds from which that had been Blading. Rose discovered that while the foundations of the well were made of a living Adra, the source of the sounds were witches that had been dropped into the well by their mothers. In total, a dozen women from White Wraith and the surrounding woods had dropped their children into the well after learning that they had turned into witches. Some had died, but many had survived to fall, living on smaller rodents and critters that wandered the ruined Igwafan tunnels under the well. Rose was forced to fight the aggressive witcher, but eventually emerged and told the villagers what had transpired. Some of the mothers confessed what they had done. Immediately, others fled the village. In the end, no one had decided to punish anyone for what had happened. Money, an item. Right, okay. Rightio. That's complete. So let's look at this scepter then, shall we? A Raffin scepter, two-handed. Yep. Damage, deflection, slashing, crushing. This weapon was stored from fragments we found in Odra's gift. The shaft is covered with invocations and the opal is inscribed with runes. So it's a scepter, it's two-handed, fine accuracy, damage, attack speed. So what does it have? It has the good quality, or the fine quality, and that's it. Freezing lash if we want to give it. Nah. Though I must admit, at this point in time, I might enchant. Yeah, I have the stuff to do it. Because I would really like to have a different sword now that did a bit more damage to the one that I've got. Accuracy fame, yeah, damaged. Yep, burn damage plus against Wilder. Accuracy against Wilder, damage against Wilder. And you can see my frost sword
Just say
there,
the word.
which is very nice.
What?
My chilly, freezing
Just say the
greatsword,
word.
which is very cool. And it's even better for killing human opponents. I think I'll join the dozen, because I mean the knights seem nice enough, but a bit snobbish for my liking. See, wants that.
How do you do?
Yeah, she's the person that wants basically the
say the
equivalent
word.
of the Necronomicon, but a job is a job, I suppose. That sword looks awesome. I'll go and tell the entertainer gentleman at the top that his friend doesn't want to give the necklace up. And then I'll probably just go back to the brothel and beat her unconscious for the necklace. Which won't go down well, but still.
Just say the word.
Good day to you.
It sounds like she worked hard and been fair with you. I won't help you cheat her. I don't want. He clenched his fingers over the edge of his silken seat. I don't want to. I'd give her anything else. I just want to help my clan. I'll deal with you later. Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
he's as useful as nothing at all. So that's great. Is that the kitchens? I take it. That's what's in the basement. Bandits? What are bandits in the basement? Bandit leader.
Just say the word.
I'm just having a little chat with my associates. Oh, come on.
Yeah.
The vast infamous soul burn of the Drive Fire Pagolo and The flask of the infamous soul burn of the Dead Fire Archipelago are nestled next to the crystal clear Nastaki and Fallen spirits.
Leave it to me.
What's in here? Ale. The proprietors have collected a respective variety of bottles from around the world, from tart Adria reds to sweet summer wines of Ratai,
Just say the word.
and we just can't kick the head in of the bandit chief. Okay, fine. Pale yellow and deep amber whiskies from the Deerwood and the Living Lands rest side by side. Right. So, where should we go? I'd probably... Always so hard to choose. I'll probably... What missions we actually have left to do? That's done. Can't do Battle of Yellowfield, Yenwood Field, Fragments of Scattered Faith, can't do that. These are all side stuff. Time and Tide. Master Blow we can't do because we're not high enough level. The Long Hunt. We could try and kill the Lord, I suppose. Sinners of the Faith. Forums of Pentagram, we could try and get that at all costs. We could finish that up and we can then start onto the... Yeah, I might do that. But first we have a book to read. I've got probably going to do one or two more side missions and then we'll go straight back into the main story. Right, so what book do you want to read? The Club of Refined Prestigious Gentlemen guest book. A whole list of names. I thought it was going to be interesting, that's why I picked it up. Adrian dialects. The sun does not set on the Adrian language. Those of us who commune with this proud language, or some derivatives of it, populate every corner of Eora. Most of us who speak this wonderful tongue know this as Adrian, but scholars and those obsessed with the correctness often qualify as modern or contemporary Adrian. This is to contrast the language you and I speak today with the Eld Adrian, the old elven language that was spoken in the Adrian Empire back before the pioneers settled in the Deerwood, built their longships. If Eld Adrian could be considered the mother of the living Adrian, the language of the Hillspeak could be seen as the Adrian's cousin. Hillspeak is faded, so Hillspeak is faded from common use, but many of the elves, especially the older one in the Adrian heartland, still use this dialect. Whatever you know it or not, if you can read these words, you can understand Hillspeak. It's almost identical to Adrian, but includes a large vocabulary of archaic words that have fallen out of use in today's Adrian. When you hear bards sing old Adrian poems, there are often lines of choruses that sound like melodic nonsense inserted to complete rhythms. These are usually intensive words that are lost from our common language but still used in Hillspeak. While Hillspeak is familiar to speakers of the so-called modern Adrian, some cannot be said for our language's predecessor. Elder Adrian is a dead language, spoken by academics but not used in any major communities. Elder Adrian words are often familiar to Adrian readers, but the words use orthography that has since been abandoned, and familiar accents marks abound. For example, Elder Adrian contains some diphthongs that are not in place in modern Adrian, as well as a few trick consonants clusters. L creates an EL sound similar to a colloquial, so it goes through the different types of phrasing. It's not uncommon for given names in Adrian, Dewoodian and Red Sirans to come from Eld Adrian. For example, Aldwyn is pronounced Eldwen because the long vowel sounds. Okay, that's interesting. I wish I kind of hope that if you had read these, it would have given you like additional lore stuff. Like if you saw it's like, oh, because you read this book, you can do this, or it gives you a benefit. But I suppose that'd be a bit too overpowered and punishing for those that didn't read the books. But that's for now, ladies and gentlemen. If you've liked, please press the like button. If you wish to subscribe, please press the subscription button. You can follow me on Twitter. You can follow me on Steam. You can leave a comment in the comment section and I'll get back in contact with you. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Pillars of Eternity, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.